Chiron thought long and deep about the events on his way to the Clawmore. What did the powerful sorceress Azaril want from his sister of all people? What had Falk meant when he had spoken of the dark side of the magical gift and the awakened as he lay dying? Chiron could only find the answer in the mysterious preacher who had once led the sick and ailing from Warung and was said to reside in a village called Fernfield, a man named Gammat.
Help! You sure showed them. Thanks.
Rio of Warunk?
How do you know my name?
Rika mentioned you.
Oh no. Does she still think of me?
She said you were her lover. And she seems to miss you very much.
Listen, she completely misunderstood. I am not her lover.
You followed the Exodus because you have the plague, right?
Honestly? No. I only acted like I was one of them. I wanted to be with my Latika.
I see. And who is Latika?
The most beautiful woman in the world. She's one of the chosen, you know?
What do you mean, chosen? And what are you doing here, anyway?
Latika was chosen to enter paradise. I'm going to follow her soon. That's why I milk the spiders here.
You milk spiders?
We make jewelry from the spider silk. For the holy man's great ceremony, this eases the transition to paradise.
Who's Latika?
Well, Latika's the reason why I'm here. I love everything about her. She followed the holy man into the swamp, and I joined them. I left everything for her, including Rika, another girl in Warunk. And now, as one of the chosen, Latika has gone to paradise, and every day I pray that I might follow her.
What's this about a holy man?
His name is Gammat. He works great wonders.
A holy man? Really?
He's a savior. He eases the suffering of the chosen. And when they are finally ready, he leads them to paradise.
What kind of paradise?
Paradise is a place of eternal bliss. Gammat has already been there, so he can judge who is ripe for transition.
Couldn't this holy man find anyone braver than you for the milking?
I volunteered. I wanted to impress him and Ulev. Ulev is my beloved Latika's father.
Not the best idea.
You know, it's not easy when you're not among the chosen. I have to convince Ulev somehow.
And that's why you need the spider silk?
Yes! But, to be honest, I think I could use a little help.
What's in it for me?
Well, maybe I can help you somehow. In the swamp, I mean.
I'm looking for 2 women who traveled to Fernfield.
In an elegant carriage. They were there. Ulev would know more.
Guess I'll go see Ulev then.
You give me some spiderwebs, and I'll give you the password to get past the guard then. Take the rope bridge to the caverns in the northeast. Reuben used to say that the best spiderwebs can be found there. But that was before the beast ate him.
See you later.
Fantastic! You got the spider's webs. Soon I'll be together with my Latika.
I really have to get going. Like I said, I'm looking for someone.
No problem. When you get to Fernfield, just repeat the password. The test is ours. The grace is mine.
Thanks, Rio.
When you get to Fernfield, talk to Ulev, the village headman. I'm sure he'll help you.
See you later.
Halt, stranger!
The test is ours, the grace is mine.
How do you know our password? Talk!
What's going on here? Who is this stranger?
I'm a friend of Rio's. He said you'd be able to help me.
Then welcome, stranger. What can we do for you?
2 women were here, and I need to know where they went.
I understand. You want the community to help you. And community is a valuable thing to have in a treacherous swamp, isn't it?
Yes, of course.
And in a community, everyone does something for the greater good.
So what do you want me to do?
Make yourself useful to the community. The next time the Holy Man visits the Life Spring, he will reward you.
What is the Life Spring?
The Life Spring. I'm sure you saw the pillar in the sky.
Hard not to, but what happens there?
The Chosen enter paradise. Whenever that happens, there is a great ceremony in which the Holy Man leads them there.
How is one chosen?
The road is full of pain. It all starts with red bumps and pustules that steadily turn darker, becoming the deepest black. A raging fever follows, and, in some cases, a wheezing cough.
Sounds like the plague in Warunk. In the end, you become weak and die.
The weakness is a sign that the mind wants to leave the body. This is a very important time. Those who have borne the burden thus far can now join the Chosen. The Warunkians die because no one revealed that to them, and because they have no life spring. But Gamat knows the right time, and names the Chosen. He shows them the way to the life spring, and thus they go directly to paradise.
And you really believe that?
We do not force anyone. But, believe me, it is more reasonable than it might seem.
This Gamat, did he really cure you all of the plague?
We are blessed. The scars mark the bodies of the Chosen. Gamat, the Holy Man, has revealed this to us. The ignorant call it an epidemic, but we know that the burden of the Chosen will be rewarded with paradise.
And what's your role in all this, Ulev?
I help. I lead the community,
so happy to
while
be
Gamat
chosen.
watches over our souls.
And why did the community end up here, of all places?
This is a good place. Even the mighty Elhanians settled down here.
You mean the Alhani? The ancient people with the powerful sorceresses able to move entire islands by their will alone. A traveling salesman once told me about them.
Yes, an old people who knew much about many arts. They ruled a great empire, and are said to even have had peace treaties with the goblin hordes.
Until the Rondrians subjugated them and drove them off.
As may be. To this day, the swamp still spits up old shards and debris they once left behind, but nothing of importance.
I've heard that you have a daughter named Latika.
Yes, Latika is my daughter. She is doing well.
So what do you want me to do for the community?
There is an important ceremony coming up at the Life Spring. We urgently need more wood for the masks.
You want me to prove myself by chopping wood.
There's almost nothing but demonic wood in the swamp. You will understand that the Holy Man does not want to endanger the souls in their transition to paradise. We have already lost half of the village. The ruins are completely soaked with the swamp's evil influence. In the west, on the other side of the palisade, we dare not go there. There are too many undead. The drowned corpses are exceptionally dangerous. But there are still some carts stuck in the mud that we use to move from Warunk. Their wood is new enough to use.
Then I'll just be getting on with it.
If you come back with unspoiled wood, we will all look for traces of your 2 women. I will see to that myself.
Why don't you just take demonic wood? Can't be that bad.
Firstly, because Holy Gamat says so. And secondly, Because I can tell you stories that would make your blood run cold.
So, let's go.
It all started when we arrived here with our carts. An orphan girl was with us. Her one arm was scarred, and with the other, she clung to her wooden lion. Someone had whittled her that lion out of swamp wood. Now we know that that wood was demonically contaminated. The wooden lion began to run and jump. The girl was happy. She laughed for the first time since she was scarred. We thought it was a good omen for our trip.
But...
That night, we heard screams. We ran over to the girl's camp. She was trying to shake the lion from her body. It had become hungry for meat. It took 3 men to pull the wooden beast off the girl. Then, the girl's forearm tore off, and the lion escaped into the darkness with its spoils.
do you have any more stories about this wood?
Oh yes, many. Listen. Stopped under a weeping willow, the mules refused to go on. Borkar was a coachman, a good man with the whip. He spoke to them, petted them, but they would not move. Finally he whipped them. The animals simply would not go on. Borkar whipped and whipped. The mule's hide split open, and the whip tore bloody wounds. Later, Borkar cut himself on his knife as he cleaned the mule's hooves. It was just a small cut.
Is that it?
The next morning he could not find his whip, so he drove the mules with a willow switch. But again they stopped. He started to yell at them, but then he began to gasp for air. The willow was strangling him. He tried to remove it from around his throat, but he could not get a grip on it. It had crept under his skin. It had tasted blood.
Truly scary.
Yes, I find these stories too scary myself, to be honest.
Have you ever seen the life spring?
Parain be with you, stranger.
My name is Chiron. What do you want from me?
I'm Genla. I was Parain's Deont here.
And?
You spoke with Ulev. He wants you to get the wood for him, right? You cannot believe a word he and his so-called holy man say. They are blasphemers and murderers.
I haven't seen many Parain Deonts.
Parain is the goddess of growth and prosperity. The benevolent one makes the seeds sprout, the wounds heal, and the children grow.
Stalks and ears of corn, those are her signs, right? In Warunk, those ears mark the houses of plague sufferers.
Her virtues are diligence and compassion.
I'm just wondering where her power is here in the swamp, between the toxic bog gases and the deadly vines.
You're making a fool of yourself. As if you didn't know as well as I just how little power the 12 gods have in the Shadowlands. That is why we have to pray even more passionately. Through our faith, her influence increases. Through your faith, too.
I'm looking for 2 women who allegedly were here. Do you know anything about them?
Possibly. If you want to hear more, help me. The divine Parain will thank you.
Is it true that the Alhanians once settled here?
A magical race. They worshipped snakes and insects. We have built on their ruins. Here, read if you can. Their descendants, the Norbaden, still worship the bee goddess Mokosha and Hesinda, the goddess of wisdom. Perhaps it is even the traces of this ancient faith which have protected Fernfield so long. On the other hand, there are legends about them banishing a demon known as the Plague Maw into the swamp. Maybe the other monsters are still being scared away by him.
Blasphemers and murderers. Harsh words for a village headman and a holy man.
Ulef and Gamat brought the plague here, thanks to their so-called exodus. They are responsible for the deaths of half Fernfield.
You are a priestess of Parain. Couldn't you heal them?
I tried. Many times. But the disease is insidious. It must be demonic in origin. The patients were desperate. Gamat incited them against me. And then they stormed my goddess's shrine.
I thought Gamat relieves their suffering.
Black magic and illusion. The bewildered see in Gamat exactly who they want to see. In reality, he exploits the sufferings of the sick while letting them celebrate him as a saint. And those who could soon find peace in Parain's arms, he throws into that mudhole which devours their souls.
Who did Gamat and Ulef kill?
Every Fernfielder who dies of the plague is their work.
Why do you exaggerate? Be honest.
Their first victim was Makra, my husband.
All this just doesn't fit. How come they tolerate you here? And why do you stay here?
Only faith can overcome the suffering. Even though many go wrong, I will not let them down. There are also more upright people here than you think. Ulef does not want to endanger peace in the village, so he leaves us alone.
Enough already. The village existed before the Exodus, right?
Fernfield was isolated. So much that Borberad's hordes overlooked us. The swamp mutated, but Parain's shrine protected us. The gorge beyond our village shows what might have happened. There's no longer a way to visit the great Alhanian ruins. Demonic claws are everywhere. Even the undead did not venture here. We couldn't leave, but over the years we were relatively safe. But Gamat and Ulef destroyed all that.
What do you want from me? You don't want wood too, do you?
It is perhaps the last wood in the entire Clawmoor not saturated with a demonic force. I beg you in the name of the goddess Parain, bring it to me. This wood is my only chance to lead the Fernfielders back onto the right path.
What exactly do you want to do with the wood?
I shall use it to fulfill the goddess's will. The same goddess who can save your soul. Is that enough?
Ulef talked about saving souls too. It seems more people believed him.
He has forfeited his own salvation, and now he wants to drag the Fernfielders into the abyss with him. That mudhole where Gamat throws the sick damns them forever. Yes, Chiron. He likes to talk of saving souls, but elsewhere in the Shadowlands, people cut out the tongues of hypocrites like him and make them eat them, and then watch them as they choke on their own blood.
And what shall I tell Ulef if I don't have any wood for him?
Ulef can use demonic wood. It won't make any difference.
I'll think about it. After all, I have to find the wood first.
If it makes your decision easier, I can give you a more worldly reward in addition to Parain's blessing.